And it's Sean Garlick who has led this side so superbly in 1996, who was first out onto the ground. This Roosters side, they haven't had too many problems with injury. They've basically kept their squad intact from round one of the Optus Cup. And as 7 out of 7 suggests, they're in very, very good form as a team and as individuals as well, a number in line for selection at higher honours. That is their lineup for today, with Garlick the captain. Such a strong pack of forwards. Lowry, Hermanson and Kiwis taking on the Warriors today. Of course, their coach is Phil Gould. Peter Clark, their leading try scorer, as he was last year with the Roosters. He's been in fine form in the centres, making the most, really relishing his chances created by the inside men, 2 of them there. Andrew Walker, Brad Fittler, plenty to say before the match. And now the Auckland Warriors, Greg Alexander, back to the ground where he had his greatest moment in rugby league. That was a premiership victory back in '91 with the Panthers, and some support for the Warriors here today as well. And the Auckland Warriors lineup for today, they have had to make a change with Phil Blake out of the lineup, their hooker. And that's caused a reshuffle in the forward pack. Mark Horrow will pack into the scrum in the front row. And Mark Carter, a former All Black, comes into the side, making his run-on debut for the Auckland Warriors. John Mooney, of course, the coach. Sideline duties today is with Stephen Roach, and with him a special guest.
Yeah, Phil Blake with me down on the sideline. Bit unfortunate, Phil. Got an injury. What's the problem?
Yeah, got a sciatic nerve problem, Blocker. Hasn't responded to treatment, and this morning we had some more physio and a bit more running, but I couldn't get out of a trot, so we decided against it.
What about this? A big test for the Warriors to see if they are pretenders or if they can match it with the big boys.
Yeah, certainly, Blocker. It's probably our biggest game to date, and look for a very impressive first half. I think that's where we're going to have to hang on early and make sure that we play pretty solid football, and our forwards are going to have to lead the way.
Well, sorry it was so short, mate. Good on you. Thanks.
That's fine, Blocker.
Stephen Roach and Phil Blake on the sideline. Paul McLean in charge of this match, the man who refereed last Friday week's City Country match, and Andrew Walker gets us underway. And in the headgear is Gene Namu. And back they come with Stephen Kearney, second rower for the Warriors, and back to the 10, so it was a good kick-off, good start to the match from the Roosters. And now Andy Platt with a second hitter. 3 defenders were there to meet him. Out of dummy half, it's Stacey Jones. We're told that he will have the dummy half duties today. And this time, Dennis Betts. Now 25 metres out from their own line. First set of 6 in the match, and a second hit up for Platt. And lifted and driven in the tackle by Tony Iro. Before the last tackle for inside the 10, a little keen the chase from the Roosters' defensive line.
The Roosters all season have tried to put pressure on their opponents' general play kicker. That time, not back the required distance before racing through. A good start for the Warriors here. 2 sets of 6 in a row. This is Gavin Hill taking it 33 metres out. All the players to the left for the Warriors.
So the Warriors 35 out from the Roosters line, and feeding it across through Kirk. Held and tackled by Walker and also Fittler. Out of dummy half goes Horrow. 34 years of age now, one of the real veterans in the Optus Cup, Mark Horrow. Had a few clubs as well, and injured after that tackle as Namu almost through, able to offload for a party. He gets inside the 20. Adrian Lamb as a last line of defence cut him down. Alexander, a cutout ball, finds no one, bounces past Betts. Fielded now, standing wide was that man Carter in 14. And trapped on the 20, last tackle for the Warriors. This is Jones with a kick through. Juney has it covered, and Juney, as he's done all season, in fact all the men at the back for the Roosters have covered up so well.
Yes, he did well to get the ball on the full there, Darren Juney, and already a problem for the Warriors. As Andrew pointed out, Mark Horrow in some trouble. As a little kick went over the top, Horrow already off the field. Tony Tutupu into the action early.
The Roosters work it out from their own 20. Iro taken high there by Alexander. He was going to rule for inside the 10 in any case. Paul McLean. It was an awkward looking attempted tackle from Greg Alexander. Came in over the top. But of course the penalty was for inside the 10. Tony Tutupu on in 16. That's for Mark Horrow. And the Roosters run the ball up with Hermanson, and they weren't back to 10 that time either. So double penalty, quick tap comes with Lowry. Strong drive for the Roosters.
And could have been another penalty.
All the men lined on the left. Garlick, they come back to the blind side with Lamb. He dummied and then almost ran into the back of Matt Singh. Just 3 metres out from the line. Early pressure for the Warriors as now Garlick turns it inside. And the Roosters with a power play. Straight through the centre. Hermanson scores.
And on the back of those 2 penalties, the Roosters have come up with their first try. Only a matter of, 2.5 minutes. They've only had the ball for about 4 or 5 tackles. And this is very poor defence on your own line. Look at them, 3 of them drifted across with the dummy half. And that just opened it up for Big Tezza to stroll over for an easy try. Sean Garlick, great work by him.
And Tiarapati, the number 4, he did not even bother to move up. If he'd have gone up and across, then there wouldn't have been a hole opened. Just really lazy play. And the one area that you've got to be intense is on your own line.
And you can't come, like sprinting off like they did then and chasing the marker. You've just got to keep your line intact and wait till you see what the opposition is going to do in that area. A bit different when you're on the halfway line. You've got some room to work with, but not there.
Plenty being said in the Warriors in goal at the moment. And in the meantime, it's Cleary who'll have this kick from 13 metres in from touch on the western side of the Sydney Football Stadium. And look at that for the season, 78 points. Half a dozen behind North's sharpshooter Jason Taylor. And Ivan Cleary won the game ball last week in the match in quagmire conditions against the Chargers. First kick of the day. He struck that one straight into the upright. We'll take a break from the stadium. The Roosters, they lead the Warriors 4-0. Welcome back, 5-minute mark. Warriors with a deep kick-off for Walker. And Lowry's put that down. So a turnover from the kick-off. The Roosters making the error. And Auckland unable to take an advantage, but they will have the scrum feed.
That's a poor mistake, something you, as a coach you can't coach against. Phil Gould would just be shaking his head at this one, but Lowry took his eyes off the football, looking where he was going to run. So this is a great chance now for the Warriors with Alexander to feed.
Be some sort of start if they can strike straight back as Kerwin comes in off the wing, a try-double against the Eels last Sunday. The Warriors with Jones and now Namu up in the line. A dummy turns inside for Rapati. They open up. Rapati offloads to Hoppy, and they have struck back so quickly, the Auckland Warriors. 4-all.
That's a funny old game, isn't it? Terapati, very good attacking player. It's a bit dusty in defence at the other end. Gene Namu coming up from fullback. He really is the key player for the Warriors. The inside run, the big fend. Winger forced to make a tackle, and that allowed Sean Hoppy a simple run to the line.
On this occasion, the Roosters' defence a little bit lazy on the inside. Tony Ira, the number 12, he hung off. The gap opened up. He hadn't come across, and that's how Rapati got through. And Hoppy won't score an easier one. So on the back of that mistake by Jason Lowry, the Warriors draw even with the Roosters.
And Sean Hoppy, only a couple of tries this year, but in his time with the Raiders and then the Bears and now the Warriors, he has become, well, a professional try scorer, one of the best finishers in the game. And earlier this year, Sterlo, he had that honour of leading New Zealand at the World Nines tournament in Fiji.
Yes, and that's an honour in itself, isn't it, to have a winger, even in that football, leading the side. And he's not just a professional try scorer, he's a professional player. The clean-up work, his coolness under pressure, he really is a fine player.
Gavin Hill has the kick straight into the sun. Rare that we have a front rower as the number 1 kicker. First choice today from 20 out, 8 in from touch. Gavin Hill with a kick. Not a bad attempt, in fact, it's spot on. So the Warriors have found themselves in front, 6-4. And worth looking at again, this work of Rapati. Jorgensen could do little than take the man with the ball, and Hoppy, that left him unmarked to come up with a very good 4-pointer. So 8 minutes gone and 2 tries. Steve Roach on the sideline. What's the news on Mark Horrow?
Yeah, Mark Horrow, concussion. He got back slammed and hit his head on the ground, and they're in all sorts of trouble, the Auckland Warriors. That's a good hit back, considering Stacey Jones is playing in the dummy half role.
Tony Tartupu it was from the kickoff. Got back to the 10 again for the Warriors. And now Mark Carter. In his first year with the club, first year in rugby league. Jones now with Betts. Angled his run, and Fittler was able to chop him down outside the 20. Hill now straight. Ricketson was first man in for the Roosters. It's Jones now. Very flat pass out of dummy half, and Platt was taken around the chest by Walker, and Ricketson was there also. They've used up 5 tackles, the Warriors. Alexander away for Namu to get the kick in. Straight down the centre of the field. And this is Ivan Cleary from the back, looking to link up with Jorgensen. He does that right now, and Jorgensen with a fend away from Blackmore. Not able to advance his position any great distance, though. And now Peter Clark will scurry down that blind side back to the 30. 6-4, the Warriors leading the Roosters as Cleary goes for yet another blindside run. 7 or 8 metres. Garlic. I read this morning where he was talking about breaking his own club tackling record, which he set against Western Suburbs in a Saturday match just a few weekends ago. He topped the 50 mark by the Eastern Suburbs count as Fittler gets the kick in. It's a good one from Brad Fittler. And Namu, he has to wend his way back from inside the 10 and doesn't get far. Good tackle, Matt Singh, who could well be playing for an Origin jumper here today.
Well, I can tell you that the chief selector from the Queensland Origin team, Les Geeves, is here today watching both Adrian Lamb and Matt Singh, and he'll be heading to the Parramatta Stadium tonight to watch Parramatta play up against the Crushers.
The Warriors centre field, 35 out from their own line. Now with Kearney. He spun into the tackle and was forced down by Tony Iro. They've reached the last yet again, and Namu placing this kick, but on the bounce it comes favourably for Cleary, and then a front-on tackle from Alexander was textbook stuff. Now Jorgensen, a step away from Namu, 10 metres. Now Lamb spreads it for Ricketson to take on the defence. Just looking back to the score between these two teams last year, the first time they met. There's a win to Auckland. Let's stay with the action as Walker cuts through the centre.
Beautiful tackle, Alexander in cover.
And now Cleary away for Lamb as they step it up, the Roosters. Iro, a few marginal passes as then Clark on the end of it, wrapped up 15 out from the line. Last tackle for the Roosters with Lamb. He kicks across field. It's coming down here. Pressure on Rapati. He goes up and misses, as does Matt Singh, and it falls for the front row. Would you believe Andy Platt?
Yeah, very good work from Andy Platt. In fact, it was good work from the Warriors. He got good body position, Rapati. See here, the ball is going to be not taken. It'll go back towards his players, as it does off Matt Singh. And there's 2 and 3 Auckland players in line to pick up the scraps.
Jones away with that pass. Stepping back in field was Tutupu. 10 metres short of halfway as Platt finds some open space through the centre. He sighted half a gap and just ran straight to it and made 15. Good run from Andy Platt. His involvement has been excellent in the early stages of this match. Kick turns Journey around and now trickles over the sideline. So the Warriors have got their game back in order after conceding that early try, and they find themselves in front by 2.
A good sign for them is the involvement of Greg Alexander. Came up with 3 tackles in the last set of 6 for Sydney City. Most important one, of course, was on a flying Andrew Walker. But the fact that he wants to get the football in his hands augurs well for his side.
Winning the scrum as Juni gets involved from the wing. And for Lamb pass. to organise. Lamb, they're going to attack from inside their 20. Walker then on to Cleary. Cleary dummied to Jorgensen, and the defence just hung with him. Blackmore made the tackle. Jorgensen out of dummy half. Can't get away from Hoppy. Be a good battle on the wings today. Kerwin against Juni and Hoppy against Jorgensen. Out of that 4 players, 3 ex-rugby union internationals, as that pass was thrown by Lowry and fielded by him. In the meantime, touched by a Warriors player, so the tackle count has restarted. Iro inside here for Singh. Singh darts infield, away from 2, still going Matt Singh. Nice swerve. And almost back up to halfway. And not getting off the man. Pleased from the Roosters players and greeted by referee Paul McBlain.
He's a very good player, Matt Singh, defensively and attacking wise. He can break a line. He's got great determination. Keeps his legs going there to make an extra 10 metres, and then struggles in the play of the ball. You can see Sean Garlick come in. He's appealing to the referee, and they get the penalty. Now they're attacking.
A giant line kick it was that sets them to this position. 15 out, and Hermanson the try scorer with the first hitter. Garlick now brings Lamb into the action. Now Fittler. Fittler, long pass on for Walker. Walker inside, ball comes Cleary. He crashes his way into the defence and cops some of his own. Rugged work from the back row of Kearney and Tartupu. As now Fittler holds that pass up. Here's Clark. 12 metres out from the Warriors line. And the Roosters chant goes up as Lamb with it. Up to the line he goes. Throws the pass for Lowry, and the Warriors defence for a moment had a chance almost for an intercept. It was a floating pass. Kept going to the right now with Lamb. Lamb, he dummies, he goes all the way inside, into the corner. Great stuff from the Roosters, number 7 to score.
Well, he's giving plenty to the selectors to think about, and it was the little man up against big man. Adrian Lamb up against Andy Platt. In those situations, generally it's the little bloke who's going to win, especially with the speed of Adrian Lamb. Very quick off the mark. Play comes to short side. So we freeze play there. It's 1-on-1. Andy Platt up against Lamb. He'll go through the gap. Despairing dive. You see the outside Auckland players staying with their men, Tiarapati and the winger. And just one of those situations where too much speed.
Yeah, it's almost like Lamb picked out Andy Platt, pinpointed him as maybe, I can't say slug now, can I? As a slow prop forward out there, and just ran straight around him, and then put the noggin down, and a great dive. Champion little player. Got a lot of skill. That's a beautiful dummy too. Well-timed dummy, which committed the outside men. And you'd like to think he might be in the squad of 17 somewhere for the Queensland side.
Well, it's as if he was running straight for a Queensland jumper in that corner.
He'll be there.
Don't ask me, I'm only the coach.
He'll be there.
Cleary has this kick from a junction of the sideline and the 20-metre line, and now fallen off the mound. A variety of kickers with their preference for the plastic tee or the sand mound. Cleary's one that opts for the sand mound.
I thought he was a bit slow to react to the fullback Namu. He's normally a 5'8" or halfback, but he was defending behind his line, and maybe he should have been just in front of that line covering Andy Platt.
So Cleary with his kick, he's second of the day. The Roosters in front, and he sprayed that well wide of the posts. We'll take a break at the 16-minute mark. The Roosters up by 2. Play back underway with Gavin Hill. And the Roosters from this kick-off. Lowry this time gets a ironic cheer from the fans. He's held on to this one and almost back to the 20. Garlick to the blind side, and Lamb, he just wants the ball all the time. Adrian Lamb, and he's made 10 running like a free running back rower that time. Hermanson, he makes another 10. And they're now 10 metres short of halfway. The Roosters, they're making plenty of ground straight up the centre, this time with Fittler. trying to wrestle his arms free from that two-man tackle, back up to halfway. This is a good set of 6 to follow up their second try. Now Lowry running a little wider of the ruck that time. Wrapped up by Joe Vagana on in 15. Walker kicking on the last, and he took some time getting the kick away, and the pressure came from Vagana down the throat of Namu, the kick, and up inside the 10. It was that hesitation with a kick that got his teammates offside.
Yeah, that's ordinary play there from the Roosters. That was a set play. They knew that Walker was going to put the ball up high. No, he hesitated, but they just, look, they're, what, a metre or 3 inside where they should have been, and that's just a waste of a kick.
On the free kick, the Warriors get inside Roosters territory. On the sideline, Steve Roach.
Yeah, the Warriors are good when they got the football, but they're far too slow to adjust in defence. It's part of Eastern Suburbs tactics to start from restarts as quick as possible.
Now the left side with Namu. He cuts out a man with his pass that finds Tia Rapati. Back for Namu. Now there's a chance on the right with Jones and then Kearney. But Kearney looked to his right and had 20 metres between him and a teammate. He throws it back inside. Alexander keeps it going now for Hill. Back inside it came for Jones. And Jones is trapped 28 metres out from the Roosters line. So plenty of passing. Where's a dummy half? Now Alexander with it. For the Warriors on the 30. And Horro is wrapped up. Back on the ground now, 25 metres out from the Roosters line. With Namu again, he steps, he throws a pass back in for Kearney. Kearney away from Hermanson. Only a half-hearted attempt from Terry Hermanson. 5th tackle for the Auckland Warriors, 15 out from the Roosters line. And Jones with Namu kicking back to the left side. Here comes Ivan Cleary. He times his jump to perfection. Ivan Cleary back to the 20.
One of the best fullbacks under the high ball is Ivan Cleary. And here's this quick restart that Steve Roach was talking about. They do not adjust well, New Zealand, the Auckland Warriors. Tremendous take, got up high, going to the football. Ivan Cleary made a difficult task look easy. And that's going to be the problem for the Warriors this afternoon. They don't get their defence set. This Roosters side with their set plays they'll crack them open.
There's Iro. Inside for Lamb, he's cut them open again. Adrian Lamb, he's got Walker in support. Walker now up to the 20. A teammate was taken out for Jorgensen. He dummies inside, 10 metres out from the Warriors line. They play an advantage for the Roosters, but Clark was taken out of the action. As now Dunn on the field crashes up to within 5 metres of the line. Last tackle for the Roosters. Garlick with Walker, they're all offside the Warriors. Lamb, he kicks over the top. Fittler at home will score an easy one for the Roosters. And justice is done, they get the try a play later when they thought they would have scored. Fittler scores for the Roosters.
Oh, easy is the word, isn't it? It's the Auckland Warriors almost playing in slow motion, reaction-wise. This is a great break, made a nice inside ball. Lamb's got nothing in front of him. He found Walker, a good change of angle there from Walker, who then found Jorgensen. And from here, he always thought that if they didn't score now, it was going to come 1 or 2 tackles later. When Walker and Lamb got together, Lamb, he's having an absolute blinder early in this game. Just a little one, he didn't go for the winger, he saw there was no one at home, and Fittler very easy.
Warriors just don't do the simple things well at all. If there's an angle play against them, they don't seem to read it, have players sucked in when they aren't needed. And this is the last tackle, like somebody has got to be aware that a kick is an option. And the main reaction was from that man there, Brad Fittler, and his teammates. At the time, the Warriors think that somebody else is going to do the work.
Cleary has this kick. His 3rd one for the day. He'd be unhappy with his first 2 attempts. I know the previous kick was from wide out, but he didn't strike it at all well. This one is better, though, for the Roosters. 1 out of 3 for Cleary. And it's 14-6 the Roosters over the Warriors. And Adrian Lamb with a kick again. They knew it was on, and Fittler. You won't get too many easier than that in all of 96. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Yeah, that was better play than everyone thinks too. Adrian Lamb's little chip through. Gene Namu caught up in the defensive line. No fullback at home. Easy for Fittler.
That's the thing, Block. If he is caught up in the defensive line, somebody else has got to realise that that's the case and come across from the other side of the field and do the sweeping.
So here's Tim Madison on for the Roosters with his first touch of the ball. The Auckland defensive effort thus far, we'll have a look at the stats for attack and defence this year. It really belies their effort because that has been one area they've improved on their 95 stats. They've conceded 14 tries in 6 matches. I know we're up to round 8, but they had a forfeit in the first round. But 14 tries in 6 matches is still an improvement on last year, as Garlick just cuts him up again straight through the middle, makes another 10.
Well, it might hit 24 today.
It's now done for Iro. A one-handed pass to Clark and driven towards that sideline by Blackmore. This is Fittler. Last tackle for the Roosters. Centre field bomb. It scoot off the side of the boot. And good take too. So the Warriors can turn defence into attack. It was a great take from Alexander.
Alexander complaining there that John Kerwin didn't position himself in the best possible way for him. That's Guttenbeil on. Another replacement. This man is Vagana. Very physical side, and they love having the football, the Warriors, but unfortunately that's only half of the game.
See, they're 35 out from the line now. Roosters enter the field as Alexander pushes it on. Namu and then Betts, standing very wide today. Dennis Betts. Last tackle for the Warriors. The kick this time from Namu. He too tries the centre field bomb. Now who's going to go up? Jorgensen goes up, and look at the play from Peter Jorgensen, leaping high for that ball and came down almost uncontested. There's now Clark from dummy half. Again, you've got to impress the point of Juni, Cleary and Jorgensen. Here's Jorgensen with a take. They've been outstanding this year. Such a plus, the men in front, when they know that the blokes behind are doing their job. As here's Iro to the left. Inside pass. 5 inside Warriors territory. It's away with Fittler. One off the ruck. Not looking to pass. They came in heavily to him. 3 defenders. 5th tackle for the Sydney City Roosters. Walker. This high kick coming down for Namu, and Namu has spilt it. Now where's the chase from the Roosters? Madison first there, and that man was offside, Sean Hoppy, but he had to get to it, concede the penalty, otherwise it would have been a 4-pointer.
Yeah, no choice for Hoppy but to get on that way, on that ball, and concede 2 points instead of a possible 6. Although the Roosters may be very tempted here to run the football. There were 3 Roosters chasers lining up. Good kick. Andrew Walker's got a great kicking game. He kicks the ball high, kicks it long, gives his chasers every opportunity.
The Roosters prepared to attack. Jorgensen it was with a first hit up. Now for Madison, and Madison front on defence. Jarring stuff from the Warriors. It was Gavin Hill. The Roosters with Garlick to Iro. Betts almost for one moment I thought was going to fall off the tackle. Still 5 out from the line. The Roosters on the boil at the moment with Fittler. And then fed on for Lamb, the danger man. They open up again. Lamb, he steps inside and gets his second. Well, Lamb is on song, and the tune is so sweet for the Roosters. His second try, and the Roosters have 4.
And again, it was Adrian Lamb up against a big man. I think you'll find it was Tutubu that he bamboozled. Going across field, they had enough troops there. This set up the attack. Really no idea there, Gene Namu, but it was a great kick, really difficult one to take. And there's Madison leading the way. Sean Hoppy had to come in and give away the penalty. Then good dummy half work here. That's a good ball from Garlick. Across to Lamb. Now they drift across in defence as we freeze play there. That player there is going across with Adrian Lamb. It's Tony Tutupu. Now have a look at how he just misses him completely, falls over, and then Lamb, showing great strength, dives between 2 players.
Yeah, Pete and Gavin Hill back on the inside, just a little bit too slow, but it's well, Lamb's just chopping them up today. He's just carving them, and this is the best football he's played all season. He's had a great year so far. It just keeps getting better for him, growing in confidence every game. He's the Papua New Guinea captain, Test captain.
It was like a smash-up derby close to the line. There were Auckland Warriors players going left, right and centre. 4 of them ended up on the deck, and Lamb just dived over for the try. Cleary back from his favoured side, 10 in from touch. This is 4th kick for the day, and he's back on target now, Ivan Cleary, 2 from 4. And the scoreline blowing out now for the Roosters, 20 points to 6 at the 26-minute mark. Just watch the Auckland bodies here as they hit the deck.
Yeah, just the players on the inside aren't getting there, either reacting too late or not reacting at all.
Interesting change with John Kerwin off for the Warriors. Eva Rapati on to the left wing. And back comes Tim Maddison. He's leaving his mark since coming on, Tim Maddison. Coming to the Roosters via, firstly, the Knights and then the Mariners. As Paul Dunn, another one of the bench players, makes another 5 for the Roosters. Garlick away for Iro. He was sent from the field in the corresponding match last year as the Roosters went down by 4 to the Warriors at Ericsson Stadium.
The same man, Tony Iro, is playing really superb football this year as Fittler tries to crash through. Ball taken by Alexander, but he loves to run from the right side of the field to the left. It seems to be his favourite side, and he's offloading on that side, setting up supports well. Big hit there.
And Gutenbill, I thought the defender came worse off out of it. He was thrown back as Maddison threw his frame into it. And the kick again has found ground as Namu forced back inside that 10. He doesn't look to find his winger. Instead, he finds an upending tackle from Andrew Walker. Buoyed by his first representative appearance last Friday week for City. Watch this again, the tackle of Andrew Walker.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's almost a penalty, that one. And that was a good tackle, but that arm in between the legs is a no-no. It's a good play of the ball here for Stacey Jones. Picks up 15 metres before Adrian Lamb closes the gap.
Well, they led 6-4. They're now down by 20 points to 6. Trying to get things back in order, and that kick bouncing and almost back over the in-goal line is now Jorgensen from in-goal area, taken by Hoppy.
I would say Greg Alexander would be very disappointed with the chase on that kick as well. He kicked the football, got down there. The rest of the chasing team were very slow to arrive, and it was an easy task for the winger to make it back in the field of play.
The Roosters again running themselves out of trouble. It's now Iro down that right side. In for Singh. And now they're over the 30. Fittler with a step off the left that time. Into the arms of Dennis Betts. 5th tackle. One thing's for sure, they're certainly well endowed with kickers, the Sydney City Roosters. Walker it is with much of the kicking today, but you've got Fittler, you've got Lamb, you've got Cleary, and a guy by the name of John Simon on the bench, who was #1 kicker with the Steelers. Steve Roach, a comment on Greg Alexander's performance thus far?
Yeah, you couldn't blame Greg Alexander for the scoreline. I don't think I've ever seen him chase from marker as well and make as many tackles. It'll be interesting to see how many he's made.
There's a 15 metres inside their own half. This is Dennis Betts. He tried a little step and ran straight into Dunn and Maddison. Now Darren Ramika warming up to come on for the Roosters. There's no let-up for the Warriors' defence when you've got players like Ramika coming on as Kearney finds some ground up the centre, crawling his way for 5 or 6 metres before he's trapped 40 metres out from the line last play. Alexander turns Jorgensen around. Jorgensen back for it, making sure he knows where the chasers are, and Jorgensen back to the field of play. Very safe football from Peter Jorgensen.
It's again smart play to look back over the shoulder just to assess the situation. He didn't get a particularly good bounce at the end of it. There's the little look, ball going away, straight onto the ground. Make sure that he wasn't taken back in the in-goal area. It's Dunn tackled 10 metres out.
Getting good value out of Paul Dunn this year, the Roosters. This time was Peter Clark up to the 20. This is better defence from the Warriors. They've used up 5, kept them in that 20. And Walker called upon to do one of his deepest kicks, and again he's found a gap between Rapati and Namu, and Rapati with a fumbling effort, not knocked on, knocked back towards his own goal line as Walker makes another good tackle, the kicker of the football. Namu away for Gutenbill, spins away from Garlick. Good Owen Gutenbill, that match against Manly the last time we saw the Warriors. He's of course a former Manly player, played in the President's Cup Grand Final last year. The Warriors, there's a forward pass straight out of dummy half and picked up by the referee. I don't think he needed any tip from his touch judges. It was forward, and maybe even lucky not to incur a penalty.
Well, one thing about this game, you've got to get the basics right, and that's just foolish football from the Warriors.
Back to 5 forward. Have a look, Auckland.
They love getting the lock forward involved in scrum moves. On this occasion, Fittler did stay in the scrum. That's Ivan Cleary at 5'8". The set plays are very good for the Roosters. You'll see they attack at every opportunity, but they do work for set plays, but that doesn't affect the other tackles in the set of 6.
Ramika on the previous play, now Madison. Ramika a Kiwi by birth. Perhaps playing for a test spot this year, somewhere in the test squad, even though he's off the bench for the Roosters. As Fittler on for Walker. Walker now for Clark. The defence read it well that time. Alexander, man on man, made the tackle. Now Fittler, 28 metres out from the line. Ricketson rebounds away from a couple of defenders. One of them was Andy Platt, who ended up on his backside. Last tackle for the Roosters with Lamb. He kicks across field, not quite the bomb he was hoping for. It's coming down, it's a lottery, and straight through to take it this time was Namu. So he covered up that kick all right. It was better from Gene Namu at the back. I say again, I don't think the kick was the precise one that Adrian Lamb was hoping for, as this is Hill back just short of the 40-metre line. Warriors end of the field. Now Kearney with a step. Nothing doing down that blind side. There's a few walking in this Warriors lineup.
And he's the other player that I think is doing everything he can in this Warriors performance, Stephen Kearney. Steve Roach pointed out the work of Greg Alexander, who really has played very well. But Kearney also trying to rally his troops, putting pressure on the Roosters' defence and doing plenty of work in that department himself. That pass going astray, one of the rare times that play breaks down for the Roosters' attack.
Roosters 35 out from their own line. As Clark comes infield and Gutenbill makes the tackle. This time Lowry threw a short pass. It bounced off Hermanson. Double knock on, first against the Roosters. Hermanson was certainly firing onto the football. A pinball machine effect as it came off the two players, Betts and Hermanson. The Warriors looking to work play to the left. They were standing wide, these two players here. The first is Rapati, and now Ivor Rapati has missed the pass. And up the scrum base, play came out very messy as Namu was forced back to halfway by Singh. This is Gutenbill. Oh, runs into a shoulder from Hermanson. He just came out of the action and back into it. Now away with Platt. 5 metres inside Roosters territory as Alexander up to the line. Beautifully timed pass for Betts. Cut down by Fittler just outside the 20. Ivor Rapati for Namu. And Alexander now wanted a man inside and goes outside with Kearney, who fumbles. Turnover for Ivan Cleary. Promising raid breaks down.
Yeah, that's a shame because 2 tackles ago, Alexander threw one of the best passes I've ever seen. A beautiful short pass to put Betts through. And here he is again drifting across the field looking for supports. He finds a man with a good ball but drops his.
Yeah, just gave Stephen Kearney the rap. He put the ball down, and Alexander did well. The fact his footwork actually allowed Kearney to get outside his man, Andrew Walker, so there was an opportunity. That's been nullified now as Lowry flicks one out the back. Matt Singh cleans up nicely. Darren Junee confronted by 4 and 5, so heads back centre field.
It's a bit risky the pass from Lowry, but it's turned out all right. As Ramika tries to slip one around the back. Well, if I said the previous pass was risky, that certainly was. And the Warriors with a 25 out and a full set of 6 to work with. There's Jones from dummy half, and Ricketson makes the tackle. Again, near the top of the tackle count for the Roosters. Getting through plenty of work as Betts got away from Hermanson. 15 out from the Roosters line. They really do need to score inside the final 4 of the first half, and now they've coughed it up again. It came forward off Blackmore. So 2 chances they've had in the last couple of minutes, and they've squandered both.
And it came through a very nice tackle, a good hard tackle, driving tackle by Peter Clark, who's also played well in this first half. Copybook stuff, that one, hitting round the hips and sliding down.
Eight handling errors in the match. 5 to the Warriors, 3 to the Roosters. The most important stat, though, is that on the scoreboard. 20 points to 6. After the Warriors had led 6-4. Massive tries to Adrian Lamb has the Roosters I won't say quite in control, but certainly in a commanding position. And again, they're running themselves out of trouble. They've done that well today. As Fittler away to Singh, and Singh almost had a pass away. Rapati hanging on in the tackle. It's Tia Rapati, the centre. Cleary is easing the workload for the forwards. Now Lamb. Dummy left and right. The Roosters working their way to the 40. When will this tackle end? Some heavy stuff from Lowry as Lamb again with that jink, and then straightens up the attack. They fire through with Ricketson, it was, and then the kick. The chasers are there. It bounces away from Singh. Taken on the toe by Iro. 3-on-1, and somehow Tia Rapati has saved the day. Increase his pace. Superb effort.
Yeah, fantastic effort from Tia Rapati, but what a brilliant ball from Adrian Lamb to set up Luke Ricketson. A lot of chases. Matt Singh didn't get the bounce. Neither really did Tony Iro. Tia Rapati, well, he had no right to get that one.
Oh, what about that pass from Lamb, though? You know, fantastic, and give some credit to Ricketson. It's good second phase play by him. He just hung back and waited for the opportunity. So they'll get one last set of 6, the Roosters, to try and maybe put this out of Auckland's reach this game.
Lowry it is who charges back from that line drop out, and Gutenbill, the first player in to make the tackle. They're 30 metres out from the line. We're 60 seconds away from the halftime siren. And the Roosters in search of try number 5 as Iro, Walker and Fittler. Straight and hard back for Walker. Walker just tackled by Platt, 15 out from the line. The Roosters with Garlick. There's numbers here on the left. Fittler. Plenty of dummies. Inside ball for Iro. Slips the pass out the back. It goes to ground, and Namu cleans up for the Warriors.
Oh, well, he's only human, Adrian Lamb. He's had such a great first half. He couldn't pick that one up down around his bootlaces. And so that should be the halftime score, 20 points to 6. Been a very impressive first half effort by the Roosters. Fittler drifting across the field. Iro makes the half bust, and he just couldn't grab it.
He's having the sort of day where you expected him to take a pass like that one. He had no right to take it.
Well, he could have taken it, chipped over the top and regathered.
As Gutenbill again bounced away from a chest-on tackle from Hermanson. Geez, a goer on Gutenbill. As Namu now kicks through. Jorgensen again has the kick covered. I don't think the chasers were in on the outside men, were in on the kick from Namu. Halftime siren has sounded. End of the first 40, and the Roosters playing like competition leaders. 4 tries to 1. They lead the Warriors by 20 points to 6. The Roosters come back out for the second half. Garlick leads them out, just a slow walk back. So we saw some good tries in that first half. Adrian Lamb in particular, his 2 efforts. His first try was a beauty, and his second try, he wasn't far behind. Just as good. This was the try that he left, well, as I said, at the time, 3 or 4 defenders on the flat of their back.
I think he's probably still a little bit underestimated with the ball in his hands. Got a good passing game, of course, but he has got good speed, and I don't think a lot of people realise that, and he probably doesn't get the raps in that department.
Back come the Warriors. Mark Carter comes out for the second half. So we'll hear shortly from Stephen Roach to find out what John Mooney had to say to his charges. So we're ready for the second half. A new referee, Phil Houston. A hamstring injury it is to Paul McBlain. And that's a rare occurrence that a referee doesn't see at a match. And Gene Namu gets us back underway. The Warriors from left to right for this second half. And the Roosters with Jason Lowry. Back he comes and almost to that 20-metre line. And it's Adrian Lamb. He's running with one defender's back turned, and Lamb helps himself to 15 metres, so it's only an early sign, but not a good one for the Warriors. As now Iro, he was taken high there by Betts, not around the head, but he tried to get him around the chest and missed. As Lowry gets it up to halfway. Well, just short of the mark, as you can see. And the Roosters straight back on the case to start the second half now with Fittler. He doesn't mind a charge straight at the defence either. Fifth tackle with Walker. No pressure on the kicker of the football, but there is pressure on Namu. And Namu able to take it and then loses the ball. Fielded by Hoppy, but knocked forward, says Houston. Oh, gee, Namu.
Well, look, you don't envy him his job, do you? Andrew Walker kicks the ball higher than anyone else in the game today, and they're wobbly kicks too. They don't just come down nicely for them. And he did get to that one, though, and then lack of concentration, it's gone.
They're wobbly kicks.
Well, you know, they wobble rather than spiral or go in on in, they wobble.
As here's Jorgensen in from the left wing. Could he be called the wobbler? Walker the wobbler as the Roosters, they go to the left with Lamb, and Lamb, or rather Walker, he switches inside for Lowry. And on the 20, able to stand in the tackle for Garlick. And Garlick with his head down and tackled. I'll get back to the kicker of the football too. There was no pressure on him. No chase came up for Walker on that previous kick, as now Iro 10 metres out from the Warriors line. They've moved to the right side of the ruck. Lamb comes back to the left. Now Garlick inside ball, Hermanson. He wants a second try. He's lost it. And a knock-on ruled against the Roosters. This is a chance to go down to the sideline. What do the coaches have to say at halftime, Steve?
Yeah, well, Eastern Suburbs obviously pretty happy with their first half performance. Feel good. Like to see them clean up their defence on the inside a little bit. That's the only problem area. They must go to Auckland. Don't let them get wound up, so their chasing game has to be a little bit better. There's plenty of yards from dummy half, as you've already said in the first half. Adrian Lamb having a blinder. Lift intensity, even though you are 20 points to 6 ahead for Auckland. Their coach expects a lot more effort. Said they're ordinary in defence in the middle of the ruck, far too lazy in that area. Don't ball watch Lamb, don't stand there and watch him, and regroup better after kicks.
Ball watch Lamb, that is certainly a keynote for the Auckland defence. Some ground in this set of 6. Oh, almost dropping the ball there was Vagana. And then he has lost it in the end under some heavy attention from a couple of defenders. Iro came over the top, and the Roosters straight away on the attack with Lamb. Were they watching? Platt made the tackle. They're 32 metres out from the Warriors line. This is Hermanson. Oh, he bumps away again from Vagana. And Garlick, penalty there against the tacklers. And this is right in front, 28 out. With a kicker like Cleary, I think you take the 2.
We've been going 3.5 minutes, or almost 3.5 minutes in this second half. And straight away, there's plenty of yards to be taken by this Roosters lineup. I would have thought that John Money really would have put a rocket up his side and they'd have come out breathing fire. That's not the case. Joe Vagana did well to take it in the initial instance, and then in trying to get through the tackles, it popped out. And just this run from Adrian Lamb from dummy half just shows how many yards there were to be taken.
Cleary takes plenty of time with his kicks. He's got 2 from 4 this afternoon. 22 points to 6 will give him that 16-point lead. And another try, and I think it's good night, Auckland. So Cleary from 29 metres out, right in front of the posts, to take it to 22 points to 6. He drives it between the uprights. So another 2 to the Roosters tally. Take a break at 22 points to 6. Quick kick-off from the Auckland Warriors has caught the Roosters napping, and will have a line dropout. So urgency shown from the Auckland Warriors.
Well, that's the best thing they've done all day so far, is the quick kick-off. They caught the Roosters unaware, and they'll get the ball back from this line dropout. This rule was introduced a few years ago.
So from the kick-off, Auckland needing more of that. Well, they don't want too many kickoffs for the rest of the day. They will be out of the match, but kicking the ball dead. The line dropout is with Walker. And that one from Walker, not his biggest line dropout. Back to the 40, and up comes the 14, that is Carter. He got away from one. Chance to see Mark Carter with the ball in his hands. 25 out from the line, as now Platt. The Warriors needing to lift right now as Alexander He dummied to Betts. Inside came Rapati. No hand on Rapati, so he keeps on going and then offloads for Horo. 5 metres out from the Roosters line. The Roosters shaken up for just a moment as Alexander for Namu. Now away for Kearney. And Kearney taken in a try saver from Fittler. Not the strongest of grips he had on him as Namu feeds it on. This is better from the Warriors now for Betts. Betts unloads and Alexander puts it down. And the Roosters knock on in turn, but the first one is with Alexander.
Well, he normally has great hands, Greg Alexander, and that was a real try-scoring chance there. Good work from Dennis Betts to get the ball away. Let's see what kind of pass it was. One that you would expect Greg Alexander to take, and I think it would have been a try on the outside for his support winger.
Sydney Roosters with Junie. 15 out from their own line. This is Matt Singh. I mean, that's just a simple hit up, but it's good play. It's 10 metres made on the second play for the Roosters. And now Clark. And now gets set for the forwards to enter the action. It's Garlick from dummy half. They open right up and Garlick finds surprising pace up to halfway. He went into a gallop, Sean Garlick. Lamb to the left with Iro. Iro one-handed for Fittler. Fittler then for Walker. And Walker had to hurdle Fittler as he took the pass. 35 out from the Warriors line on the last play with Cleary. He kicks and again poses the question to Namu, who doesn't get to it. It's a tackle count has restarted for the Roosters. I don't think Clark knew that when he put a kick in. And the Roosters have it with Cleary. 20 out from the Warriors line. Walker. Then for Hermanson. Hermanson straight into the Warriors defence. The tackle came from Platt. The crowd is lifting. And the Warriors right on the ropes as Lowry 5 out. He can't offload. They're standing very deep to the right, a la Manly from last night at Cogra. It comes away for Lamb. He throws a cutout ball for Iro. Inside for Singh. And now for Lamb, back it comes to the left with Walker. Walker motors ahead and tackled 6 out from the Warriors line.
Still got problems this side.
Garlick from dummy half. He burrows over, can't force it. He ended up on his back. We'll have a scrum.
Well, Stephen Kearney is blowing up and has been ever since the kick went up, and another set of 6 was signalled for the Roosters. Sean Garlick gets over the line. He put them in good field position by just making bust up the middle from the dummy half position with ridiculous ease. And there's Adrian Lamb coming over the top, trying to help his skipper get the ball down, but to no avail.
I know where the confusion had arisen. That was from the fact that Houston had already ruled 6 to go when Clark put the kick in. And the Roosters players want to restart the tackle count again after the kick as Fittler is wrapped up. 9 out from the Warriors line. Clark, he goes himself from dummy half and the defence able to hold firm that time. Garlick now for Hermanson. Tries to get those legs pumping. 5 out from the line. Lamb is in position on the right side of the ruck. They cut out a man, they throw it too wide for Lowry, and Lowry has lost it in the pass. Well, he was trying to offload it, just that he'd lost his compass, and out of that they have to play the forward pass. There was no advantage there for the Warriors.
That's the second time in a couple of minutes Jason Lowry's tried to offload in traffic, or he and Hermanson actually, and they both let one go, and they've lost the advantage that they've had a couple of times there, the Roosters.
Well, I tell you what, looking at the replay, you could have a judge and say that the Warriors were the players who forced it back out of the hands of Lowry. There was no doubt he was looking to pass. And here's a scrum penalty. Well, when was the last time that happened in an Optus Cup first grade match? Has it happened in the history of the Optus Cup?
I think that was for feed up, wasn't it, in the scrum from the hooker. 1975, the last one that was given for that.
Well, Houston gets his chance in the limelight in the second half out of the lower grades, and now
2 balls in the field.
Time off for the 2 balls.
Sweet. Of course, Phil Houston is the Kiwi referee now refereeing in the Optus Cup, who Bob Fulton gave a massive serve to, I think, last year, and we thought we'd never see him again, but he's back.
don't know why I'm glad he's here. I don't know who would have refereed the match. Maybe Blocker on the sideline would have donned the teal blue shirts.
Yeah, it would have been the 3 metre rule if I'd have refed.
Blackmore down the right side. This would have been anything goes, actually. Just do your best. As here's Betts. Away for Platt. Gonna have a penalty, sir. Sweet. They're 5 metres inside the Roosters half. This is Alexander inside for Carter. Carter not really hitting the line at any pace, but then was able to offload, and now Namu wrapped up 30 metres out by Lamb. Last tackle for the Warriors. They still need to get points on the board here as Alexander kicks, trying to place it, but the Roosters at the back with Journey. It was a little too deep, the kick, and watch Journey go. He finds himself a passage back to the 20. Had no right to get back that far. And a weaving run from Darren Journey. Now Iro.
Well, let's just see how much ground the Roosters can make in this set of 6. Crucial stage in the game. This is where the Warriors really have to lift to try and get themselves back into the match. Garlick now finding Madison. Good charge again. That's 3 rucks. They're out to the 40-metre line. Still keeping the ball alive.
And with Fittler it was. And now Cleary comes into the line. And Cleary trying to bring Journey into the action. He dummies. He's still going Cleary. Tackled on the 40. He just couldn't position Journey for the pass. And now Walker. Here goes the high one again. No surprises. Namu, what can he do this time? It's batted back. Is it from Singh? He comes up with it, Matt Singh. Throws the pass anywhere and fielded by Mark Horro. Oh, gee, Namu is having a nightmare at the back. He just can't get close to the ball. 2 out of 3 kicks. He's had some good takes, but more often than not.
Where's his support? Have a look. There's both Adrian Lamb and Matt Singh, the closest players to him. No Auckland Warrior protection at all. Now as we come back to live football, a mistake made by the Warriors, which will see a Roosters feed.
Sterlo, I think you made the point earlier. It's the simple things the Warriors don't do. It's just attention to detail, if you like.
Their mental game is very poor, and the reaction because of that is non-existent at times.
Fittler standing at 5'8" for the scrum, and then Walker. Walker saw he couldn't get a pass away of any quality, but knocked back, says Houston, as Walker bounced on it. Well, pounced on it even, as now Fittler 15 out. Inside ball for Ramika. And Ramika 10 out from the Warriors line. Again a chance to deliver that knockout blow with Madison. And the Roosters threatening points. Fittler for Lamb. There is that jink again, and tackled that time by Tatupu. Still 5 out, still right in front of the Warriors' posts. There's Garlick to the left for Fittler. He fires the pass for Walker. In his face was Alexander to make the tackle. Last play here for the Roosters. Let's see if the little grubber comes from Fittler. It's off a Warriors' leg, but fielded by Kearney, who thought of passing. That would have been fateful.
Well, the one shining light for the Auckland Warriors this afternoon has been Greg Alexander. That was a kick through at the end, under pressure from the Auckland Warriors halfback, but his tackle on Andrew Walker was a try saver, and not the first time he's had to come up with the big play in defence.
Warriors with Namu, and now Rapati.
Andy.
Jones, Alexander kicking on the 5th. Juni has a chase, but that kick finds 35 metres with a kick. Inside the Roosters 20, that's where the scrum will pack down. Alexander over the 1,000 mark in points. Crowd figure today, good one for a Saturday, and so it should be, with the Roosters on top of the table. Just under 13,500. Steve Roach enjoying the action from the sideline.
Yeah, sensational game. Adrian Lamb's having a blinder, as you've already mentioned, but John Simon, stripped on the bench, hasn't had a run as yet. I wonder if Gus has remembered him.
Good point, Steve, with John Simon. When he has started from the bench, then that's been all bar one game this year. He's normally seen action in first halves around about the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, but again, the good coaches, they assess the situation. They don't put players out there for the sake of doing so. Oh, good ball. Here's Clark.
Clark. They won't catch him, Peter Clark. He's got too much toe. The chase was coming from Tatupu, but Clark, we talk about try-scoring specialists. Here's another one, and the Roosters are going on with it at 26-6.
Oh, Lamb, he is smoking today. What a beautiful pass that was as he put Peter Clark through. Just watch the artistry of the man as he comes up and just draws a couple. The Auckland defence, they don't know what to do. Two of them go in, he holds it up, and then Clark, that'll be his 10th try or 9th try of the season. He's the leading Roosters try scorer. Looks like shell and peas, that one.
He can get over the try line, Peter Clark, and he's done it just about every game this year. And now you can see why he is scoring so many, because the service from the inside players is so very good. Richie Blackmore still has got no idea where this man went. He was staying on the outside to see what Andrew Walker was doing. The most dangerous player in the game of rugby league is a man with the football. It seems that the Warriors, they're trying to overread the situation, and when they do, there's open spaces. Peter Clark gets his 9th try, joins Steve Menzies.
Talent there at the top of the try scorers list. Peter Clark, just 22 years of age, linked with the Roosters from Manly. And now Cleary with 3 from 5, this for 4 from 6. He does it easily. And that's what the Roosters are doing at 28-6, 57 minutes gone. Back then with Gene Namu. A deep kickoff. And back comes Tim Maddison for the Sydney City Roosters, now up by 22 points. So those of you with Footy Tab and the Roosters 13 plus, you've got them right where you want it at the moment. Garlick turns it away for Ramika. Gets it over the 30. The crowd goes up with a chant. They want more points. There's Maddison. 5 tries to 1 as it stands right now. And back for Wobbly Walker with this kick. That's more a spiralling kick. It's a big one. Namu will be forced to go back to his own in goal, and here comes the chase. You can count them. There's about 7 in line. He says, you have a go, John Kerwin, and he's going nowhere. Pummeled in the tackle.
Yeah, nice pass. Good pressure football, wasn't it? To the winger who had 5 people surrounding him.
And here it was. Look at the Roosters' chases. John Kerwin bigger than Namu. He sort of says, well, give it a go.
I'd have thrown the pass.
Now for Tirapati. Now with Jones. Crossfield run. He links up that time with Kerwin. Last tackle for the Warriors. Almost back to halfway in this set of 6. Namu with a kick. He's picked the gap between Jorgensen and Cleary. It's bounced 5 or 6 times before Cleary. They want to come back at the Warriors line. And
well, it's at the stage of the game where they've got to be producing, you know, more thoughtful kicks than that one. They're 22 behind, and simply driving the ball downfield isn't good enough. They've got to be looking for maybe the chip over the top or the grubber for the outside backs to try and get some tries on the board.
Or Paul looking to run the football on the last tackle as much as possible. As Luke Ricketson tackled 24 metres from his own line. And Adrian Lamb, again, if he hadn't have tripped over, there's no markers. Here's a chance for Jorgensen, although Namu comes across, plucks one out of the air.
Jorgensen was flying on the chase, but went straight to Namu. There's Namu. Well, that's a trip. No doubt about it. That is a trip on Adrian Lamb. Missed by the referee and by the touch judge, who is all of 9 or 10 metres away. There's now Alexander. Away there for Tartupu. Up to the 20. Now Alexander out of dummy half. Trying to ignite this Auckland Warriors attack as Vagana stood in the tackle for a long while. Got the pass back for Jones now with Rapati. It's ad-lib football from the Warriors, and the defence stands its ground, but another offload finds Vagana, who's figured 3 times in the play. Last tackle for the Warriors, Alexander throws the pass for Carter. Carter stretches out, doesn't quite get there, does he? No. He certainly tried and failed.
And the Roosters, they jealously guard their try line. That's why their against record this year is second to none. Fittler coming across, Clark does a great job to pull Carter back. And there you see Adrian Lamb. He still comes sliding in with the boot to try and stop. Let's see where Carter gets the ball down. Just short of the line. Good decision.
Ooh. It was as much the boot of Adrian Lamb that prevented the try. I was going to say, what an effort from Peter Clark. The strength to hold up Carter. Actually pull him back from the try line. And Clark has tackled. 12 short of halfway. Roosters up by 28 points to 6. Turning into a golden year for the Sydney City Roosters. And the kicking of Andrew Walker has kept the Warriors hemmed, and the chase from Walker as well has done ditto.
Well, I thought the Warriors might really put the game to the Roosters this afternoon. It hasn't been the case. So we eagerly await the Roosters matches against the likes of Brisbane, Manly, North Sydney. That's where we'll see what kind of year it will be, whether it will be a golden year for the Roosters.
Jones with Alexander. Cuts out 2 with a pass, and Gutenberg stepping back in field, and then able to offload, and Jones, and now a chance. He fires the pass along. They're through with Tatupu. He sprints for the line. He doesn't quite get there. He didn't reach out, so that is the 5th tackle for the Warriors. Not all but given him the try, he did the right thing. A penalty may come against the Roosters here. Knocked down in the tackle, he awards the penalty to the Warriors. They want a quick tap. Now they get it, no. As Jones ran over the ball. Now he takes the tap. With Alexander for Namu. They're stretched here on the right. Namu with a dummy. Back comes the pass. Surely they'll score. Not this time either. He rolls his way over the try line. He checks with the in-goal judge. What's he going to say? What is he saying? Houston will award the 4-pointer. The Warriors get their second try a long time between drinks.
And hotly disputed there by Brad Fittler. Looked like a great tackle by Fittler to save the try. I'm just wondering if Rapati's elbow hit the ground, if the ball was grounded. This is the run by Tatupu. He gets pulled down a smidge off the line. Thought about the double movement, thought he was over, but he wasn't. How close can you get? And it came on this tackle here. And let's watch Fittler as he comes over in cover defence. Nice work by Noma to keep the ball alive. There's a gap. Fittler comes. Does the arm carrying the ball hit the ground?
No, I think it's fair enough. I think the other arm did. He just rolled over. This might be a better angle. Good work from Namu to get through or half through the gap and then get the ball away with 2 tacklers hanging on. He finds Tia Rapati. Fittler did a great job. He was involved in that previous tackle. Well, there's the elbow that you're talking about. No wonder they were disputing it.
They certainly forced the ball in the end. We'll see what Namu can do with a kick from just adjacent to the posts. He gets it. So the Warriors claw their way back, but it's still 28-12, 63rd minute. Back to the Sydney Football Stadium. Walker gets play back underway with the kick-off. And the Warriors have made a dreadful error from the kick-off with Sean Hoppy.
Can you believe it? Honestly.
Well,
everyone's done this in their career at some stage. And this is Sean Hoppy's turn.
Unfortunately for the Warriors, it was behind his own try line, so they'll pick up at least 50 metres from the kick, you would imagine. And if you're going to pick one Warriors player in their team that would not come up with that mistake, he would be the man. Forget the 50 metres.
Yeah, well, it'll end up around the 25-metre line, but just harping back onto that try, Pete. From the angle we saw, that last angle looked like a dead-set double movement. He made the second effort to get the ball down in rolling over.
Exactly. It wasn't Fittler rolling Rapati. It was Rapati of his own volition getting over that try line, and Fittler had him well and truly held. There was no doubt about he forced the football. That's what happened previous to that. It is disputed. So the Roosters with it, 24 metres out from the line. They get a chance for revenge as now Walker, and there is a chance down the left side. Walker with a dummy. Almost fallen for. Horrow had to cover up. Lamb, will he get a hat-trick of tries? He throws the pass for Ramika. He tries a step. Standing in the tackle, and it is the 5th for the Sydney City Roosters. Garlick, back for Lamb. He places his kick. Here comes Junee on the chase. He gets there and doesn't force it. It was a diving attempt from Darren Junee, just an ace late.
Oh, that was very close to something special. Select kick, beautifully placed. And what does Junee try? Does he try and catch it or dive on the football? No, he never got to it.
He was coming back with Gutenbiel. Reserve grade today was a tight match all the way through. The Roosters led at one point, ended up down by 2, 24-22. The Warriors and the Roosters. The Roosters' Shane Werrett, claimed as the fastest man in rugby league, came up with a couple of tries in the space of 90 seconds. As this is Kearney on halfway. And a sloppy play, the ball there, and Jones is able to make plenty out of it. And away now for Hoppy. The kick is knocked down by Jorgensen, now taken on the toe and picked up. Does he get it? No, he loses it right at the death. Spectacular effort from Peter Jorgensen, but it's a knock-on against the Roosters' left winger.
I've got to say that it's been a lot better effort by the Warriors in the second half. They seem to have been a lot more committed, and they're starting to get a roll on with their possession percentage. And the Roosters wouldn't want to fall asleep. They look like they've got the game wrapped up, and they're quite comfortable with a 16-point lead as the replacements start to happen. We've got Dunn, Oro and Madison coming off, and Adrian Lamb gets a well-deserved rest as well. So John Simon's on there right now.
Hoppy it is who's tackled. And now with Namu, dummied inside, then picks up Rapati on the outside. Singh hangs on to make that tackle. 35 out from the line. Namu and Blackmore wrapped up. Steve, there's a knock-on against the Warriors, just on John Simon. There was no drama as far as getting a late entry into this match.
No, I think Phil Gould wanted to keep Adrian Lamb on as long as he could to impress the Queensland selectors. I'm sure he did that. It's just bad luck that Queensland have got two great halfbacks to pick on from in Alfie Langer and Adrian Lamb.
Well, I'll throw the cat among the pigeons. I'm of the belief that Adrian Lamb shouldn't be qualifying to play for Queensland. Now he's made the decision to captain his country, PNG.
Well, we're opening up a whole new argument now. I guess then we bring up a player like Wayne Bartram.
Well, we won't get into it too much. That's just my opinion on.
Sure.
On
Yep. Well, they were extraordinary circumstances in 1995. There's Ramika. Wrapped up 5 metres inside the Warriors' half. And now with Ricketson. Ooh, crunching effort over the top came from Gutenbiel. And it stung Ricketson, that tackle. Kick with Fittler on the last, and this time just fires it for the line and is content for a scrum to pack down 15 out from the Warriors' line.
And Luke Ricketson in some trouble behind play now. Pretty strong tackle. He sustained a leg injury from that. I don't think Phil Gould will leave him out there too long. See there, Kearney going low and Gutenbiel coming in high. And the impact and the angle of the tackles has done the damage.
Off goes Luke Ricketson, favouring his right leg. Tony Iro enters the fray once more. In the meantime, the Warriors win the scrum, and up out of the line came Walker. Make a good ball and all tackle on Richie Blackmore as Namu then for Rapati and quick hands from the back line. And now Rapati, Eva Rapati it is down the left side, showing great pace, but even better pace from Matt Singh. He offloads the Warriors. Well, there was a knock-on at the end of that and ruled by Houston. Firstly, a wrap for Eva Rapati, but what about the chase and turn of Matt Singh?
Yeah, well done, Eva Rapati. He really put the foot down, got around the outside of the inside defenders there from the Roosters. Junee caught him flat-footed. He dropped off the pace. Then it was left to Singh to come with a well-timed tackle. A bit of rah-rah there, releasing the football. He knew he was going into touch, and the knock-on.
There you see the man who made the tackle was Peter Jorgensen. Now, Darren Junee has been run around on that side, and Jorgensen, the other winger, has come up with the clean-up work on the inside.
Clark playing it for the Roosters. There's Hermanson now. 5 inside their own half, the Roosters, with Fittler, who was looking to link up with Matt Singh. Didn't find him. All the Penrith teammates. Zyro. Now quick hands from Ramika. Lowry was caught flat-footed, back for Ramika, and he's going backwards in the play. No risky passing there. It's the 5th tackle here for the Roosters. Just inside Warriors territory, and John Simon gets his first kick in, and it's excellent. As good as we would have seen from anyone else in the Roosters side, and here's a job for Eva Rapati at the back. And again, that chase and tackle is spot on. 28-12, 20 points to 6 it was at half-time. 8-6 second half, that would please the Warriors. And right now, appeal for a penalty there. They're going to get one. The hit-up came from Vagana. There was a bit of a wrestle to free themselves of the tackled player, Walker and Iro. Just a twist of bodies there. Walker was the man penalised. This is Andy Platt. It's the shoulder down. He's lost it, and some desperation shown from the Roosters players to dive on the loose ball. It was well done from Jason Lowry. A real scramble to get to it. Now Ramika, inside pass and upended. And Alexander was cleary. On the 40-metre line. Simon. Fittler cuts out a man with Singh. Inside it came for Juni. He gets away from one. Not past Gutenbiel. He might find himself in the starting lineup next week. And one of the more impressive forwards for the Warriors. Garlick with a dummy, and here's another 10 metres from dummy half. He runs up to Dennis Betts.
The whole defence comes from your markers. If they're not doing their job, then it's like a domino effect through the rest of the defensive line. And the Warriors, they've really been poor in that area. Mistake made here by the Roosters, and throwing the football away.
So 28-12 is the score. 7 minutes remaining. We'll take a break. And welcome back with this play now with Namu. Away here for Blackmore, and Blackmore on the outside. He's still going, Richie Blackmore. Up to the 30. Turns the fullback around. The cover is coming from everywhere. It was Jason Lowry who got to him. Now to Namu. That is incredible, Jason Lowry. He was back there to make a tackle. And the Warriors, they're on the boil, the Auckland side, with Dennis Betts. 15 out from the Roosters line. Held up in front of the Roosters posts. Now with Jones and Alexander. He runs up to the line, throws the pass, and put down cold by Eva Rapati.
Well, they can make breaks, the Auckland Warriors, but the scrambling defence of the Sydney City side has just been something else. When you take pride in your defence, you're going to have a successful season. Now that Tom Radonicus at Western Suburbs actually had his players kiss the in-goal area. That's how much they wanted to keep it their own. Good work here from Blackmore. He's waiting to find some support players, and that's tremendous work from the front rower, Jason Lowry. How he got there, you'll never know. And unfortunately, at the end of this set of 6, the pass to Eva Rapati went astray. But they have improved their efforts in the second half, the Warriors.
Now from their own 20, Madison goes for a gallop wide. Got the Pistons pumping that time. Made it awkward for the defence to make the tackle. And here's this simple play that has worked so well. The back's coming in. Clark was able to make 10 metres out of dummy half. Simon now for Iro. He's got Lowry on his outside. He decides to pass to Singh. They keep it alive with Garlick on the 40-metre line, and Garlick gets it now to within 5 metres up halfway. And a second tackle made around the ankles. Concedes the penalty, the Warriors. It was Alexander, the man infringing. Lamb about to come back into the action. A front runner for the Optus man of the match today, Adrian Lamb. He's replaced Sean Garlick, so he gets thrown into hooker. Well, Andrew Johns is going to be a likely choice for New South Wales hooker. Gee, if you have to find Adrian Lamber's spot. Number 9. Just a suggestion as Lowry stands in the tackle, back for Lamb. Lamb tries to get on the outside of Gutenbill, not so that time. I'm sure Alfie Langer's having none of the hooking job. Simon across for Fittler. He dummies to Iro, now picks off Cleary. Cleary able to offload it into the arms of Betts. It is for the Warriors. 9 metres out from the line.
Well, they're playing some attractive football, aren't they? The best thing that's happened to the Roosters the last couple of years is Phil Gould taking over as coach. Their former coach had them running from dummy half for 4 years. They did nothing. Look what they're doing now, throwing the ball around, and they're really one of the teams to beat this year.
Well, with this victory, they will go to 16 competition points. It's the perfect record. And now Kearney, the job getting him to ground. Last tackle here for the Warriors with Alexander. Namu. Up to the line he goes, and then a dummy, and he's through, he stumbles, he's lost it, it's towed through there. Firstly by Clark, it'll be covered up by Simon. I've got to say, I thought Namu had thrown forward with a pass, so it's not going to be much advantage if the Roosters get trapped inside their 10 as what has happened. I thought it was thrown forward by Namu, and now they've made a mistake. Peter Jorgensen, I get back to the pass from Namu, I'm sure it was thrown forward, and then came off the boot of Clark.
Well, with only a couple of minutes to go, it's not going to make any difference in this ball game. Greg Alexander hanging on there. Let's see if there's any interference from Alexander. He tried to get something in there, but Jorgensen, well, he accommodated anyway.
The intent was there.
He's had a great game, Greg Alexander. Look, I think in the beaten side, he's just tried his heart out. If they'd have had another 16 players along with him playing with the same desire and intensity, they wouldn't be trailing by 16 points and had 28 scored against them.
There's a chance on the blind side of the scrum as Blackmore stands them up and goes for the corner and gets a try, Richie Blackmore. Well, I've got to say, that was a little simple for the Auckland Warriors, a little too easy. I know it's late in the match, but it's another try and it's 28-16.
And all of a sudden that 13 plus that you were talking about has gone out the window. Yeah, sloppy stuff here, and that won't please Phil Gould. In fact, it's been an emphatic victory for the Warriors in the second half. Some good footwork there by Blackmore on Peter Clark.
Yeah, nice try by Blackmore. He's had a good second half. It wasn't much sided in the first half, but he's a strong player, got great upper body strength, running with the ball in 2 hands there, and a slick mover. Good dummy. He's got it all. Ordinary tackle by Clark.
Blackmore got well into the in-goal area before he forced it. Punters again concerned at the scoreline. It was a 10.5 start the Roosters were giving. So this kick all important. The voodoo doll is out of Gene Namu right at the moment. And from 9 for 96, and this one, is it going to curl back? No. So just wide of the uprights, 28-16. And just 60 seconds remaining as we look at the try again. Blackmore, once he got round Clark, he just kept on going, Richie Blackmore. There's the try line there. And around he goes. He had to almost fend off the in-goal judge, who put on a little dipsy doodle to get out of the way. There's no rush to get back to halfway from the Roosters. They've wiped out 30 seconds on the walk back.
Well, I'd imagine that Coach John Mody might have been pretty happy with their second half recovery. They've actually won the second half, 10 points to 8 at this stage with a few seconds remaining. It's been, you know, they're capable of doing this sort of stuff, but as Alexander goes for a, well, you'd only call that a speculator.
Well, he's on the chase. It's a little too late for a kicking duel. Here's Cleary on his own 20. And some open space for Ivan Cleary if he wants to run it. The siren will sound back for Junee. He's lost it. Well, it's anyone's, and covered up by Junee. So a sloppy end of the match. The Roosters finishing in the second half wasn't all that flash. But at the finish, it's 28-16. The Roosters win number 8 for the season. 28-16. The crowd ecstatic with that.